Tracy, what should we call it? 36 to life?
Yeah, 36 to life, baby.
Okay, TracyFrans. That was something else I was telling Laura from our big mastermind we came back from. I wish things were more complicated. Like everything came down to clarity and like simplicity. It was so simple and it was like right in front of us the whole time. So sometimes we need to get out of our own way. Admit all. Okay, we are live. I am so excited for today. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Laura, for being here. For those of you guys who do not know Tracy, we've been lucky enough. I met her through a coaching group. It's now my favorite thing ever. It's a group of coaches that mastermind, and I feel like coaches need coaches. And she's a rock star. Her energy is contagious. She's been in real estate for over 20 years. She's a success coach. She's been an icon agent. She's won the icon program, what, 6 times. She's a huge leader as far as real estate and growth and just pouring into people. And she's a staging expert, which is really cool. She's a pro. So if you guys have questions with staging, she's an incredible negotiator. She's the marketing queen, voted #1 agent in Omaha, Nebraska, which is huge. And then past personal production because she's a rock star. She also leads and mentors an organization of over 50 agents across multiple states. She's a builder. She empowers them. She's a super mom of 3 teenage girls, which is incredible. She's been with her husband for over 30 years. They work together, so life and business partners, which is tricky, but she pulls it off with ease. And then her big thing is just creating cohesion and balance and success while managing a thriving career and a busy life. And she'll go into 36 for life. It's so powerful, so simple, and so it works so incredible. So thank you, Tracy, for being here.
Thank you, you guys. Like just Amanda and Laura, before we dive in, you guys just provide the safest circle with the highest standards and integrity. It's like you get the whole package. And, ever since coming across you guys in the last couple of years, you really have just gave me true balance in life. It's like I think I used to always wake up on January 1st every year and just have to start over. It's like I would always say I'd have to start at 0 million. And now the way I'm operating, and thanks to you ladies, it's just every day you can wake up and know you're not on a hamster wheel, and that you can just maximize your day.
We love you.
So,
Okay, so
thank you.
we knew you when you were already cool, but for those of you who don't know your story, and I don't even think we know all of your story, tell us about Tracy. Like, how did you get into real estate? You've been doing it for 20 years. What were you doing before? Kind of share your journey with us.
Yeah, I went into college and was an athlete, so prioritized that more, but always just loved being around people. And when I got out of college, I took a position with Jenny Craig, and it was more marketing and sales. And I went into the sales role, went out to training for a couple weeks out in Kansas City. And, just dressed for success. I was young. I was the youngest one in the room at the training facility, and came back and just felt empowered. And my center director, who was running the center, actually quit in the first week that I was the sales chick on the floor at my store. And I get a call from headquarters, and they basically recruited me because of my training those first 2 weeks and the impression I made. They gave me the whole center, and I wasn't even 21 years old. And I was able to actually run the center. And for 9 months, month to month, we would just increase the profitability. All my employees were older than me. And it was just that 2 week training that they provided to me to help me on path. And then one day I get this call from this LASIK surgery company, and they just randomly call and they go, "Hey, we just know Jenny Craig has a great training program. We're opening up this facility in Omaha. We want you to run all the sales for this surgeon that's just going to come in town a few days a month." So I was like, okay, the money was just, you couldn't say no. So I branch off to that. I'm selling LASIK surgery on a semi truck, you guys.
Oh my
They
God.
failed to tell me that. They were running an ad for me for $2.99 per eye in the comics section, booking it through a call center, and would book like 40 consultations in one day. And I had 15 minutes to do a little picture of their eye, get a deposit, sign them up for LASIK surgery. And then this surgeon would come in for 3 days a week or 3 days a month and just do surgeries back to back on this calibrated multi-million dollar unit that has engineers on site. I had to just, it was one of those, did not have passion for the product, did not believe in it, had a lot of struggle, but I just absolutely love the hurdles every day and the meeting different people, different personalities. And it was one of those where the light bulb came on. Okay, I love this. I love working with people. I love making an impact. And yet I got to believe in my product. And at that point, I was engaged and I was like, okay, I got to find something that, truly is going to be something I can trust, I would say was the biggest word. Trust the company. They had already gone through a couple name changes and had a grandpa out in Florida who would have me come out every couple years and it was a multi-million dollar property at that point on the ocean, and he was in real estate. And I never really knew what he did. I just got to go out there every couple years at the holidays and spend a week and be treated like a queen. And I'm like, all right, this is in my blood. This guy's doing it. He's living like this. It just allowed me to see a world that you could have unlimited success. And I think that's what really triggered for me is in my previous positions, I didn't have control of my schedule. I wasn't able to, figure out what I wanted to do with my day. It was all just programmed for me. And I was born in an entrepreneur family where my dad was like one of those Schwan men, but he created his own company. So he painted his own picture, put it on a truck, and he would go door to door to attorneys and lawyers' houses and selling them like Costco. I mean, he'd take Costco and he would just stamp a new price tag on it, but they trusted him and he was passionate and he believed in it. And so I knew he was always at every one of my games when I was growing up. My parents were always present. And I'm like, oh my God, if he can slap his picture on this truck and, provide a future for me and provide me a path to college, I'm like, wow, if I can really find this product and be passionate. So yeah, that's where I dove into real estate, got licensed the year I got married and was like, let's do this. Let's be present for the kids. Let's have unlimited growth and let's go.
Oh my gosh, it's a life by design. We were just talking about Schwann's and the chicken cordon bleus that yeah,
We were.
this weekend. This world.
We always ate good. That was nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were like, I'm in sales. I'm supposed to be in sales. You had your identity locked in. You joined real estate, and then did you just jump in and sell 36 houses, or did you? How was getting into the real estate? How did you find a mentor, join a team?
Yeah. So, I took a part-time position at a front desk at a brokerage that was local and had just kind of grown up with somebody that was more in an assistant broker role there and went and interviewed a couple and it just felt like kind of home. And then it was that safe spot, right, of a part-time job. So then I'm working part-time and yet the job was supposed to be where once you start selling enough homes, you don't work that position anymore. And kind of treating it as a hobby. And at that point, it was one of those where it was just naturally growing organically, even though I was just treating it as a hobby.
It's that personality. I love
Yeah.
that. Laura?
So I guess my question is for you is how did you get from there to you and I've collaborated and or maybe commiserated on our overproduction syndrome, I think, which sounds really bad to complain about, but we work too much and we've both talked about work-life balance. And how did you go from that beginning of your real estate journey to iconing to overproducing where you felt burnt out completely to this 36 to life? Like, how did that journey happen? And then I mean, I think Amanda, I'd like to have her spend a lot of time because even with us talking to her every Thursday, I don't think I completely understand what 36 to life means and how I think it can be applied if I understand right to multiple aspects of your life, not just necessarily
So
real estate.
Tracy, you were kind enough to share your flyer, and I just put it in the chat box if you guys want to click on that picture. How many of you have heard a realtor say, I would like to sell less houses next year? Like no one, right?
Yeah.
Look how energized and pumped up she is, and all of her bills are paid. And so it's a really, I don't know if y'all read The Gap in the Game, but it's a really beautiful mindset of going, when is enough enough? And when have I hit my goal? And why do I keep moving my goal, right? Do we really need to keep moving it? So yeah, Tracy, could you kind of dive into what is this 36 to life and should that be the new normal?
Yeah. And it was interesting too. Like a lot of people don't know this, but the struggle really started for me on my production when my husband was getting burnt out from his position. So here I am, I'm in this hourly position, kind of just, selling a little bit on the side, no goals, not really being accountable to where I'm going with this. And then he started to really just show in the mornings that, he wasn't excited about his day, and he had been making six figures since a young age. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to live like this if my partner's not happy. So it was one of those where, all right, let's pass the torch. It's go time. And I had a mentor at that time that was like, Tracy, why are you still working this part-time job? The world is out there for the taking. All you got to do is believe. Why aren't you making more? And at that point, I'm like, all right, it's game time. It's like, there's this world of real estate out there. So I got in an accountability group. That was the biggest turning point is, I had been competitive. I'd set goals my entire life with sports. And here I am just flying by the seat of my pants, no goals, just a couple years of working a little part-time job, dabbling with the leads that would fall in my lap. I joined this accountability group and they made me scrappy. It was one of those, they made you accountable every week of taking action. And that's what I needed. It was like, you get a point for writing a contract. You get a point for, basically having a listing presentation. You get a point for a closing. So it made me finally have a board of, all right, I don't like to lose. So if I can get in this room and I got to report in every week, this is really going to make me go. And so I was able to go from 4 million to 8 million at that point, just having some accountability and a point system for myself that I had to report in to someone else. And then once I got to the 8 million, it was like, okay, now I'm really flowing. I got the husband out of his job. He joined me full time. Now we got two of us. Now we went to 12 million. And it was one of those, that's where it really started to turn on seeing that income. And it was like, all right, I had some agents at that time that I was starting to help coach, and I was helping to grow them. And I had some agents around me, they wanted to sell 100 homes. And I'm like, awesome, we're going to help you sell 100 homes. We create this business plan, you guys, for them. What did they do? They sold 100 homes. How was their life? It was like the girl I helped do it, she's like, I never want to do that again. I missed everything with my kids' life. I didn't make it to any games. It just consumed me. And I look back at my year and it was just, I was running 24/7. And so it was at that point when I'm like, wow, Hank Avick came into my life and he was so focused on, I have huge ADHD, if you can't tell. And it's one of those, but that's a superpower, right? With the creativity. And it's like one of those, I don't like systems. I hate, my husband's an Excel junkie and I hate it, but yet I know it keeps you organized. And Hank, he goes, it's not a CRM database. It's a human base of what I'm going to teach you with this 36 to life. And so I'm like, all right. And you guys, this coaching program is one page. I'm like, I can do this. So the science of it is having these 36 people. So it's like right now, if all you guys have a canvas in front of you, okay, you have a canvas, you can draw any of your client that you could picture. Like today, right now, if your phone rings right now with a listing appointment, paint a picture on that canvas and who you want that to look like. What is their income? Where are they going to be building, or where are they selling? What price point? Where are they at in their life? What is their occupation? You draw that picture. Now you duplicate it. You draw 36 of them. I'm not doing 100. I'm focusing on 36 people in my life that I would want my phone to ring right now and help them. By doing that, now what I do is I take that 36 database and I go into Facebook. He's more off of social media. Don't get lost in 4 different social media platforms. Pick the one that you want. I'm in my mid 40s, so Facebook is going to be that comfort zone.
Heck yeah, girl.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. I have money.
I can't get away from it. It's like one of those, and it's trending. A few years ago, it was starting to lose a little bit. Then it came back on the hype. So I'm like, all right, it's never going to go anywhere. Okay, so now
until we die.
Exactly. Yeah. What was that? MySpace back in the day?
Oh yeah, girl.
That one you could tell was going to be short lived.
Yeah.
So as hate goes, you go to Facebook. Did you guys know you can go to a friends list? Now you have to be on your PC. You can't be on your phone. Okay. So you go on your computer, you log into Facebook. You have friends on the left column, and you can go into friends and you can make a custom list. Now he goes, put your 36 top people in that custom list. Now, don't waste time on Facebook. Don't be just scrolling. You have these 36 people. What you're going to do is you're going to do a science behind these 36 people. It's called a 50-25-1. He has a hat he wears backwards and it goes 50-25-1. And what I'm going to do with those 36 people is I'm going to work that algorithm. I'm going to make sure that no matter how many agents are now in their life, because 10 years ago, there wasn't a lot of agents in the spaces that I was in with my friends and coworkers and people from school. Now Jesus, how many agents are in each circle, right?
Right.
So now I got to dominate that algorithm. I got to work it. So now you do like what it's called 50 high fives every day, 5 days a week. All you're doing is liking them. You go into there, like, work that algorithm, 50 high fives. Now you got to get a little bit more intentional. It's like it's called like a relationship is what he calls it. You're creating these relationships by working the algorithm on Facebook. You're committed, you're connecting, you're creating conversation. And the game, when it really comes down to it, is of course, all 36 people are not going to sell this year, right? They're not going to give me my 36 deals. Although, if I'm working it and I'm in their algorithm, they're seeing what I'm doing, they're seeing my value. I'm the first top of mind agent that comes to their mind. When a real estate conversation comes up, whose name are they dropping? So the key is if I got these 36 people, no matter what, if I'm loving on them, if I'm pouring into them, if I'm first of mind when a real estate conversation comes up, they're dropping my name and they're giving me referral. So now all I got to do is get 36 referrals, or, a few of them might sell. So then you're even less. And at 36, I know that the way I'm positioned with my model, I can be 120% agent at the end of the year. I basically there's no fees. I'm making usually I'll be making about 350,000 easy with those 36 homes with my price point. And so that was my first lane. And so when you go in there, it's 50 high fives. Now you're going in and you're doing 20, what you call like a connection. So it's like you're going in there. Now I'm going to do a comment on the 20. I'm going to get a little touch deeper, right? I'm going to comment, have an open-ended question, something where now I'm engaging even more and working that algorithm even more. So when I get to that, now I'm going to 5 actual conversations where it's more a private message on Facebook. Now I'm engaging more, I'm creating conversation. And then the one is doing a phone call. So it's like if I do 50 high fives, if I do 20 comments, if I do 5 private messages, and I do 1 conversation, how do you guys think that algorithm is going to look with those 36 people?
That's incredible.
Woo!
That's so cool.
And okay, so now it's exciting where I've been doing this now for I've been doing it for 6 years, and this has got me a 6-time icon agent. And I'll be honest, I hit a burnout station like a year ago. I was 20 years in the business. The market was down. I just wasn't having fun. The deals were hard, for everybody. And it was a time where I was able to take a step back, refresh, and I missed the icon by 3 homes. And I had taken time off. I needed it. I needed to restart. And boy, I'll tell you, I have never been so driven right now in the first quarter to get my 7th icon, because it's an actual award. This is another funny thing is when I was at my independent brokerage, there's 450 agents the year I left, and I was in the top 5, and they forgot me on the spreadsheet. So we're at the awards banquet and you have 450 people. I went and got my hair done like Laura, looking all good. out a cape so I could fly on the stage with the suit jacket. I'm sitting in my chair and I'm like, I didn't know what number I was because they never announced it. And they got to 5. And then I'm like, nope, not me. Then they got to 4. And then they got to 3. And I'm like, holy shit, am I 2?
I'm number
They get to
one.
1. They didn't call my name. I was number 3 that year. They carried over a list and I got cut off the Excel spreadsheet. And I'm like, oh my God, I just put a year into trying to get on stage for this award that gave me no pay out to my family or my future. And that's where I knew I had to stop renting from my brokerage and I had to start owning my business. And I had to find a platform that was going to be more of a future for my family and investing in myself at that point. And now with the Icon Award, not getting it last year, oh my God, it's like one of those, I lost out on stock for my kids' future. I lost out on getting all that money back and I'm just cheap. So now it's like my first quarter, you guys, because of going through those growing pains, my pipeline is stronger than entire last 12 months because I'm not ever going to let that happen again. And I had to go back to the basics, find my 36 people, love on them in October, November, get them ready and really just be present and loud and believe. And so what's interesting now is 20 years in, the 36 to life. I used to say I could do it in my sleep, but obviously, got a little lost. So it's like you still got to stay laser focused. So then now I have wanted to give back and help other agents and share, what I've done in order to have that balance, not have to sell 100 homes, still be in the top 2 percentile for income in the country and have balance. And so now I have gotten to an organization of 50 and my first goal was 36 agents. So what did I do? I did this whole thing with agents. I went and I was like, I want to grow my circle. I want to give back and I want my mortgage paid for. So I was like, there's a lot of positives here I'm trying to go for. It's like transactions are awesome, but I wanted that wake up money. I wanted to wake up and, in my sleep be making money. So I went and I found 36 agents and I put them in my Facebook custom list. And there's 36 agents that I could paint on a canvas that, man, if I was to do a deal tomorrow, I want to do a deal with you. Your energy, your trust, your integrity. I'm like, you are the person that I want to be selling my homes. So put them in that list, love on them, comment, like, create, invite them to events. And no matter what, it's one of those, it's the long game. And so that has been my second lane now is 36 to life in transactions, 36 to life with agents. And now my next lane is, now that I've gotten over 36 in my organization, now I want to get 36 leaders that are in just like the front line that I personally bring over. So it was one of those, I was kind of more of what you call like an assister. Like I would do the assist for other agents. I would help support. They would talk to them. I'd help them bring over and I'd help retain them. And so that was kind of my second lane first, is helping all my agents grow their agents. And now I want to really, focus on that lane 3 of bringing in really top, strong leaders personally and still being able to love and retain.
You make it seem so simple. I don't have any custom audiences, so that's going to be my takeaway today is
Yeah.
be clear on who are the people. We get to pick who we work with, who are those people, and put them on a list.
Well, and I think too, like I love that like avatar that you like drew the picture of, like they always say like pick your ideal client, but the visual I got was actually like an actual client that I have right now. And I thought, oh my God, if Peggy called me anytime she texts me, I'm excited to talk to her. And I think that that's because a lot of people may struggle with that, but I think we all have those people, and you know the difference between the client that calls you that you dread and you don't want to answer. And it's the same thing with agents. And I mean, I think the whole thing here is that's easy step one is right, get that avatar of who you want to do business with in any capacity, and whether it's other agents or clients. And then I think you could apply this to like even like if an agent wanted to go another direction, maybe you do your like ideal like service providers, and you like make a list of 36 of those people and you love on them, and you really could just rinse and repeat this thing in so many ways.
It is just a number that just works. And just with the months of the year and, just the quarters, it is just, it's the one thing that in my 20 years I have been the most consistent with.
Yeah.
And it's simple and it's not rocket science. And you know, in the last few years, I'm very hands-on with my girls. So this last past year was the first year I wasn't coaching an 18-year-old select national team. So for 6 years, I was on the road during the heat. We would leave usually in March and I wouldn't be done till June. And that's the real estate market, right? So I want to show you guys something what I did because that's the circle, right? That's the circle I'm in. The softball, I'm there 4 days a week. I have all these families. So you guys see, have you guys ever been to a game and you'll have like a player bring a cooler, right? They're there all day.
Mhm.
So I went and I put my stamp on the cooler for every single girl. And it was, we would go into tournaments. It was like an army, you guys. It was like my whole team coming in with their coolers, stomping into the tournament, into the game. You have all the parents, the grandparents, everybody's there. And then they would use them as a seat in the dugout. So now you have EXP on every seat for 8 months going wherever that girl goes. I got so many grandparent leads. Like, so even if the girls weren't leaving, I mean, I cleaned house when I was coaching with grandparents because it was present and it naturally brought up the conversation. Now, another thing is open houses. It's a no-brainer if you're really trying to, you know, maximize your business and pick up business. So I'll do an open house all the time. You got to find what your superpower is, right? Something to stand out, something to connect when the clients walk in. Well, what I did is I learned how to juggle. So now when my families walk into an open house, you guys, and they got kids, what's the first thing I do? I juggle to break the ice. I give them my balls. They get 3 at home. So if they lose one, they're going to have more. It's got my name, number, logo, everything. But it's just something that I have fun with. And it's an icebreaker and it defines me and it allows me to have my personality at an open house because you only have minutes to make that connection. And so then what's another thing? I'm like, oh my God, everybody always goes shopping and needs recycling bags, right? So what do I do with every single open house, every single kid, every single parent? A recycling bag or my number, my name, my logo. These are just things that I know that are in my life every day and I'm taking on the go with me. So it's like being relatable to what do you like to do? What is the space you're in when you're not showing a house, when you're not at a listing appointment? What do you really like? And, you know, it's tying that in and just staying true to yourself and letting it shine.
That's amazing. Okay, I feel like we always want to have this opportunity to tie in what we're doing with our business, but you seem to do it so naturally in your energy, like you're, like you said, having fun, like you're actually having fun and you're branding and you're unapologetically you. Like, hey, I'm Tracy and I'm in real estate and you want to work with me and I'm having fun and we're doing this. This is happening. Have you always been like that, or did you have like a moment where you had this like imposter syndrome where you're like, oh my gosh, I have to tell them I'm in real estate, or I don't want to bother them, or those are my kids' friends, parents, or whatever? Or were you just big and bold and we need to just get out there?
No, it's one of those where you always are going to question, you know, if someone else is better, or if you're not, you know, up to the level of somebody else, or they're not respecting you. And so it's like I found that the best way for me is to do it subliminally. So it's like one thing we did is we went like I'm cheap again. So I go to Walmart and I get generic jackets that are black. I got a generic tennis dress. And then I put my logo on it, and it's one of those, it's like a walking billboard for me. So I don't even have to bring it up, but I'm representing the real estate industry without creating conversation. And then naturally, what do? They ask you how the market is. and and so then you just want to have it down to a science. So I would say it's faking it till you make it. Do you guys want to know what I would do for cheer? I've never been part of the cheer world. I mean, geez, I only would do sports with a ball related. And of course, my younger two are more into the cheer world. So you guys, I'll go to practice. And if I don't have anything going on, I'll go dress up act like I came from appointments when I go inside to pick up my daughter from cheer just to fake it. So it's like, it's kind of one of those, you can really express yourself by what you wear. I really truly believe that. It's dress for success. And it's like one of those where you just walk in and let the story speak for itself.
I know your photos, like you're so recognizable because you've got those really high boots, like the really fun, fancy boots, and then your hair's big and beautiful and curly. And like every photo, I'm like, oh, there's Tracy, there's Tracy. And so I think you're really good at being consistently bright and bubbly, but in like a professional way.
I learned this going through training with GoGo, and that's one thing I think with whenever I feel like other people are intimidating me, I always go back to just education and coaching and just basically pouring into myself and investing more in myself, so there is no lack of belief and I'm more intentional. And so that's one thing, is no matter what, if I get down, just go to coaching, go feed your brain and re-trigger it. And yeah, I think with GoGo, she always said, you guys take one photo, and that one photo is what you have on every single social media platform. If you have a YouTube channel, if you have your business card, every single piece of material that you do should have one picture, one hair design. And it was funny. I had this black and white, go figure, black and white. It was this striped vertical dress. And I took that when I was like 6 years in the industry and had really dark curly hair. And I went and 4 years later put the dress on because I went to blonde, put the same dress on, you guys, and took my real estate photo again. And I used that same dress for 12 years. And
Wow.
it was my branding. And I'll have to share it to you guys, because I mean it was just, that's how I was known on my business cards, everything. And so then it got to a point, like anything, people are probably starting to talk shit. Oh, there's that agent that's been using the same picture for 12 years. So I went and got the fanciest boots. I go to Dillard's, get the fanciest uh, dress that I could find with structure and just something structure. Oh, I kept those tags on, took that picture, and then took that shit right back. So it's one of those. I just like to keep it real here because I'm
Yeah.
cheap, and I'm like, if I have those boots on every damn picture this year, I can't go and wear it to an event because it's like, you only can do so much. So that's really, I think, helped me on my confidence, is everything I do, if it's in the story on Facebook, if it's on a flyer, if it's on, and I even in my inspection reports, if I have a pre-inspection, it's the same picture. And one of my coworkers a long time ago did her hand up, and she just constantly like put stuff on the hand and change it up, and I'm like, oh, it was just, I was always attracted to it. So I stole the idea from somebody else, and it just works on every single piece of material and makes you stand out.
I love that. So like you've just stayed as a consistent persona and it's really who you are. I think that's the other thing about it is Amanda can say this is authentic Tracy, right? So like your outfit and the way you're standing and everything and then you're juggling, I think it all goes together and it's all authentically you. So I think that's a good tip for everybody, right? Figure out what's authentic to you and comes out naturally in your personality and try to figure out how to leverage that in your marketing.
Yeah.
So
Branding is
kudos.
everything. Marketing is everything. Like you could be the best realtor in the world, but if you're not out there and they don't know about you, you don't have your custom audience of 36 people, you won't have any clients. So that's money.
So Tracy, I mean you've had a ton of success and we've heard kind of your journey to get there. What do you think the biggest misconception people have about just being a successful realtor? Maybe a struggle. What's kind of a hard lesson or something that people either think that is easy and is not? What do you advice do you have like for you and your
I think it got to a point where, like, for 12 years, I was just selling homes. Okay. I was just selling homes, and yes, I got to a point where the production was awesome, but I never treated it as a business.
Mm.
And that has been such a game changer in my mindset, and just, just the mental aspect of this whole industry is treating it like a business. It's your business. It's not your broker's business. It's not the agent sitting next to you with the next listings business. It's yours. And what do you want it to look like? And that is what I love, is there's so much available. Is sometimes I would go and I would try to create my own book. It's like, I'm going to be an author, and no matter what, I'm going to do it my way. And when I finally, got humble and said, okay, my ego's not my amigo, let's do what's already working and just give it the Tracy twist
Mhm.
and take in. And so then I really started going more nationally and finding agents that were similar to me and that I was excited about what they're doing. And I got out of my little zone in Omaha of masterminding with the people that are selling in my backyard. And I really opened up to saying, okay, they're already doing it well. Just copy what they're damn doing and just put your twist on it. And that really allowed me to be more laser focused and not get lost. Because I think a lot of times when you are trying to recreate the wheel, it takes so much time and power, and it's like you get nowhere. Why not just jump in the Jaguar that somebody's already driving and just pick the color you want to drive and go?
Yeah, that's smart. When you say, I know a lot of people say it like run it as a business, and I agree completely. I do think a lot of realtors are just realtors. I don't know how else to word it. You know what I mean? They show up and they kind of bobble around.
Yeah.
What are some specific things that you mean when you say that? Treat it as a business. Yeah.
Yeah, no, great question. And it was one of those where I was using title companies every week, right? But I didn't have shares in that title company. And so I wasn't profiting off of that. But yet here I was one of the top agents, giving business to that title company. And what, they're giving me a few dollars to put some snacks out at a client appreciation party? No, I want bigger. I want better. I want to have that wake up money. So we started to develop more partnerships. And I'm cheap. I didn't want to go spend money on an office. And it's like one of those where I went and tested out the Regis a little bit, but it was more of a pop in. I'm like, that's not the space or the industry, like that's talking to me, that space I want to be in. And so I went and I had to sit down. I figured out every title company in our area that gives partnerships. I sat down, I had meetings with them, and I got shares on the first meeting offered to me. And then they go, what else can we do for you? And now they give me masterminding space for free. They give me office space whenever I want to pop in. They even keep a fridge loaded with alcohol and snacks for my clients. I'm like, this is insane. And so it was more looking at, okay, you're the one impacting their business. Why shouldn't you get a share? And so I think developing those partnerships with lenders, it's like one of those, my lender, he has so many marketing tools, and he uses HomeBot. So he chips in for that. That keeps me automated with my clients. But it's like one of those where it's reciprocal, and yet it's like, we both respect each other, and we trust each other. So it's putting yourself in the circles where it is everybody's winning and everybody's gaining success, and you're just not an employee mindset.
It's like a strategic partnership. And what's interesting is you didn't get what you wanted until you asked for it.
And how many other agents are even doing more business than me at this point in our game, and they're not even just being open-minded to it, and all they got to do is ask. You're right on.
Wow. Okay, so one last question before we open it up for everyone to get to ask you. I love the Tracy spin on it. That's gonna be my new thing, is find something that's already working and then put your Laura spin on it or your Jackie spin on it. Um, my question is, what do you do as far as if you were to tell someone, here's two things that you need to start implementing in your business right away? I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm finally running it as a business. I've learned a lot. I've had wins and failures, and I've gotten back up. What are two things that realtors at any level could need to start doing right away to really affect their business for 2026?
You know what? One thing that's really worked is keeping it simple with like, have you guys ever seen like a worksheet where it has cylinders and it's like you have 5 cylinders of how you can reach your goals for the year? And it's like one might be open houses, one might be the 36 to life on Facebook. But it's like you have to figure out those 5 cylinders. If you can figure out 5 things that you do consistent all the time, and even 3 of them work, you're meeting your goals. 2 of them can actually end up failing, and I'd still hit my goals. So it's committing to 5 different things that you can implement in your business no matter what, all the time, and knowing only 3 have to succeed. And so if I do open houses regularly, if I do the 36 to life, right there, I know I can meet my goals, even if I am not powerful on the new construction this year, or if those numbers are down, or, if I was doing events and nobody was showing up. It's like one of those, I'm still doing them, but I only have to have 2 that work. And 3 is just a bonus. So I think it's getting laser focused on your marketing and really what is your story? What type of homes do you want to sell? There was one year where we were really into flipping, and it was one of those, the way I got the flipping leads is that was my image I put out there. I was going through hoarded homes. I was going and showing the grind on videos, and we were just, that was my messaging, because I wanted those leads, and the leads would pour in with estate sales, hoarded homes, because that's what I was putting out there. So you got to just focus on visualizing and lining up that message and using AI to support you and to be consistent. Now that we have our AI assistant, there should be no question. Everything can be done in such a rapid pace now, and designing it to you is really digging deeper with AI has just been truly amazing for me, for even my family, for cooking, for relationship guidance for my 18-year-old. I mean, it's like, you guys, we have this special assistant that's free. And if we can really pour into that assistant and show them who we are and what we want, they're going to paint the picture for you, and they're just going to implement it. And all you got to do is copy and paste.
Yeah, I mean, you can even have it help you create your 5 columns or your five, I mean,
Five cylinders.
it can do all of that for you, for
Yep.
sure. And you can ask it to ask you questions to dig down to like which 5 things would make sense for you, for what you love or what's been successful for you. And I mean, you and your husband are obviously ahead of the curve on the AI thing. So I love the fact that you're reminding everybody to like tie your goal setting and your, core activities, and use AI as your little secret weapon.
Well, I even found out, like, okay, you guys, this is funny because she's like my female version, but she's Vietnamese. So she is like, we are twins, you guys. She comes, I met her at a nail salon. She'd been selling a few homes, but she was ready to level up. I bring her over, and I'm pretty sure we found one of you guys's rock stars down in Texas that was doing well. And I had her copied the whole business plan, and now she's blowing it up in Omaha. And you guys would never even know. Like,
That's
and
great.
that's respect to you guys, but that was her niche. That was her community. That is where she was really going to be able to be a builder and make an impact in our community. And all we did is find someone that was doing it already at a high level, and we copy and pasted it all. And oh my God, it's so fun seeing her soar. And now she just had little twins, and she didn't even want kids. And she's like, oh my God, I can't even believe I didn't want kids, but she's selling like with 2 little car seats now. And it just, for us being open-minded on reaching out of our area and finding something that's already doing it right.
Oh,
The secret is there's no secret, right? Like find what's working and rip off and duplicate. And there's so much business out there. I know in Houston, I don't even know. There's some agents that are selling thousands of homes a year. So we can all agree that there's not a lack of opportunity, right? It's out there. This has been powerful. Does anyone have any questions for Tracy while we have her here? Don't be shy.
I just love you guys' title of this too. It's like, it just everything in real estate is keeping it real, being genuine and developing that trust. And like real estate in black and white, it defines, what we're doing every day and
I
just
have a
being
question.
true.
Somebody has a question.
Yay. Who has a question?
It's me, it's Angela. I have a question.
Go for it,
Yeah.
girl.
So I love your ideas of like your marketing ideas where you do the bags or you do the stickers on the coolers. And so do you have a particular website that you use? Because I would imagine that you place like bulk orders for those type of things. And I was just wondering if you have a website that you use that where you can place bulk orders for like different types of things. So I my play that I want to do is that I play golf and so I want to get like teas made and I also like to cook, so I thought about getting, like those little plastic spatulas. Like, just do you have a website that you would recommend?
Yeah, it changes too, like on price points and competitors every year. And I have been doing all my shopping on AI. And it is so funny. So I will go in there and I will tell it, I am looking for a branded recycle bag in a bulk of this. Give me the top quality companies in the US that are the most cost effective per bag. And then it just spits up the three companies. So I would say, like with your golf, man, that is brilliant. And it's one of those where I think you could really have those, that's something that they'll be having in their home for a long time and just creating a lot of conversations too on the golf course. So yeah, I would just go into AI and actually be specific with what you're trying to order and asking them for the best companies to go through.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's great advice. I've actually not really done a ton of shopping on AI. So, I mean, I've asked it occasionally for recommendations, but I didn't really think it was that genius. So,
You
Smart.
got you got to get specific, and sometimes it'll take you off path. So then it's just asking it in a different way, is what I find.
yep.
But yeah, I'm like, I got a girl going for Miss America Teen this year, and I basically just figured out the trendiest necklace, and it itemized it all out on how to make this choker by myself for $20, and to go in and get somewhere else, it'd probably be $1,000 necklace. So it's like I gave it a picture, I gave it an image, I showed it what I want, and then it even broke down like how to cut it out and what materials to use, and I mean everything. And then it gave me placement of the stones. And so it's just no matter what you're doing, you got to get specific with it and show it pictures too. Like Angela, if you can go in and you can find a sample, have it make you a sample, and then have it, be able to show it on what you're looking for. And then gosh, I love that idea.
That's smart. I know yesterday I was shopping. I had to get renew my virtual staging website that I use for virtual staging. And I asked ChatGPT for a coupon code and it found one for 40% off. And I was about to buy it because I needed it and it saved me like $200. So you can use them for coupon codes.
And also, I use it like my personal assistant. I mean, that is my personal assistant. I literally use Chat GPT every day, all day for personal, for business, for everything. And it knows me, it knows what I like, it knows my tone, it knows you train it to know you, and I tell it what to do, I tell it what I need, I tell it everything, and it populates. So that's how I use mine until I can hire a real assistant. But ChatGPT does a great job.
May never need one, girl.
And
Yeah.
one thing I did find, like I pay for the $20 upcharge
Me
per
too.
month, and it does give you access to a lot more information. So and that's helping a lot with my AI staging. Um, I do a lot of AI staging now where I'll take down a frame and then I'll put up an abstract piece of art, or I'll set the table if it wasn't set. I'll add fresh towels or pop a green, and nothing too dramatic, but more small decor. But I think the Chat GPT, one thing that's nice, I don't know if you guys know this, you can go in the settings and you can go to your setting, you click on your name, and you can go in there and put in there who you are, who your target market is, what you're trying to do, what your, messaging is, and it will actually program for every chat. So you just basically go into your account and personalize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michaela. Michaela have a question? She have...
She raised her hand.
We can't hear you, Michaela, if you're talking.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know what was happening. I will say I use Copilot for my AI assistant, and it's free and it works pretty good so far. It's gotten me through my associates and most of my bachelor's. Um, but I'm wondering because I'm starting out in trying to become a realtor and stuff like that, but I'm moving to South Carolina with only my in-laws. So how are you starting out building those relationships from the ground up? Because I won't have really anybody there. So like starting out from nothing, basically.
Me too, only I'm moving to the hill country, so I'm with you, Michaela.
I've seen some success too. Like if you have a neighborhood you're going into, like if they don't have like a next door, like a community page, that's something to kind of start in the area that you're going to be living. And I think it's becoming like the community expert. So now you start going into, like the top restaurants and doing quick videos on them and really trying to, you personally learn the community as well. And yet you can do video to kind of promote that. But I think creating like some community like Facebook groups and inviting people in, that's been something I've seen people really kind of get the ground up and moving quick in new markets and figuring out kind of what your hobbies are. Like if you're into church, you go and you find the church and then now you're wanting to volunteer or try to do some marketing and partner with them on how you can give back, but also get dialed in to the parish. So it's one of those, do you have any interest right now of what you'd want to do when you get there?
Right now it's just mainly getting everything set up because this is my husband's military, so it's our first time getting away from base and all that fun stuff. So I think right now it's just getting, like you said, a church and then figuring out stuff from there.
You just hit something on the head for me is you just said military, and some of my biggest business partners only focus on military. Is that something like where you're moving to? Do they have a base nearby?
I think so. I'm not sure if Columbia has one. I know there's one in Charleston that's only like 2 hours, but I'd have to do more research and figure out if there's one closer than that.
I would go and go try to have lunch and get it paid for by all the top VA lenders in town. And then try to see if you can get in the circles with that military branch. And I wish I could get in those, but I'm not military and I've always been envious. So I hear there is so many circles of, just wives getting in these group pages in every area. Man, that could be your goal, girl, is you already know that life, you're part of it, it's who you are, and now you can actually serve them in your area and start working up partnerships to be able to provide them the best service possible.
I will definitely, I'm taking notes, so I'll definitely keep that there whenever we get there because I'm excited and nervous all at the same time.
It's a good sign. And remember that if you're with the XP, there's like 26 countries that we're in. So you can refer deals from Texas, from South Carolina, from anywhere and ask for 25-30% of the commission. And that could be a whole nother stream of income and you can still stay at home with your babies.
I like that too, what Crystal just said, share your story. So track it, share it, and that will actually create engagement as well. That's awesome.
This has been incredible. Thank you, Tracy, for sharing your time and your expertise, 20 years of knowledge. We're so lucky to have you here, and we're so thankful that you keep pouring into our agents. So thank you for being here and sharing all of your secrets with us.
Oh, always a pleasure being on with you, rock stars. So just thank you for having me in your circle because this has really been the biggest impact on my life, truly. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. You're awesome.
And Laura and I are going to share next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central. We just came back from Georgia and we went to this huge Create 26 event, and it talks about being like a well-rounded human, right? And better humans create better realtors. And so we'll talk about, living your fullest life and excellence with faith, family, fun, finances, and freedom. And it's really powerful. And so we just want to pour into you and make you better humans and make you better realtors and just have a better life. So that'll be next Tuesday, and I can't wait to see y'all. And if you're in Houston local, we have coffee and collaboration this Wednesday. So message me with anything. And thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Laura, for being here.
Have a good week, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.